What is going on, people inside the internet machine? Welcome to this episode of Odds and Ends, and today we're doing a response video to Back in the Day Gamer, and I'm going to show you my top 10 most valuable NES games that I have in my collection, and then you will worship me like a god. All right, I'm just kidding, because I know you already worship me, but let's be serious. I'm going to get crazy and stupid tonight. I'm going to share prices and all that stuff, and it's going to get obnoxious, because it is. It's cool having cool and rare games in your collection, but to be honest, the story behind them and how you got them is probably better than what the actual price is, you know what I mean? And also, price is subjective. If it's a $150 game, and somebody pays $170 for it at a convention, that doesn't mean the price goes up to $170. If somebody gets a good deal on eBay and get it for $120, that doesn't mean that the price drops to $120, right? You could check your eBay listings, eBay sold listings, price charting, you know, Amazon, whatever it is that you use, video game price guide, whatever it is. The numbers are always a little bit subjective, okay? So we're gonna have a little fun tonight. Make it sort of a playful event. Maybe I'll tell you guys some great stories about how I got some of these games. But price should not be a main reason for you to go out and get some of these games. Because quite honestly, where I'm at in my collecting phase is that, you know, I went through the hoarding phase, just buy everything you can. And now I would rather have a $5 game that's a really, really good game over a $100 game that is just not a playable game. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just have better games in my collection than valuable games. And rarity and price aren't always partnered together. There are some rare games that are pretty cheap, and then there are some very expensive games that aren't actually really that rare. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna get crazy tonight, but we are honoring Back in the Day Gamer. I will leave a link to his video down below. If you want to make a response video, please do so, and then drop the link in the comments section, and we'll go check out your video and maybe sub to your channel. But Back in the Day Gamer is a little bit more reserved, a little bit more conservative about sharing prices. I'm gonna tell you what this shit's worth, man, because it's crazy. And you know, Back in the Day Gamer, he's a little bougie too. He always has like a, you know, River Mountain Pumpkin Ale IPA. You know what I mean? So tonight, I decided to pair my video with a beer. Now, I'm not as high class as Back in the Day Gamer. We are going with King Cobra Premium Malt Liquor, smooth taste, 25 ounces, 6% alcohol by volume. So let's give this a shoot. It's been about 8 months since I've actually had a beer. All right. Time to nut up or shut up. Oh, tastes like shit. Okay, so here we go. Here I got 4 games that actually aren't in the top 10, but I wanted to show them off. I wanted to talk about them a little bit, and maybe a little bit about exclusivity versus rarity versus price. The first game I got for $4. It is Goal 2. This is a pretty rare game. At one point, this was a $60 game. Now it's back down to about 40 bucks. So 33% off of what it used to be. Really, really uncommon. I don't really ever see this game, so I'm going to say it's rare. You usually see the other game, the first game, but Goal 2 is a game that is rare, but not that valuable. Here's another game that's in that category. This is Supercars. Supercars is about a $50 game. And I just looked before this video, there's 4 cart copies on eBay right now, and like 2 or 3 that are like box and manual or carton manual or carton box. So really there's less than 10 of these on eBay right now. So to me, that makes it at least uncommon. And for 50 bucks, you know, these are 2 games that nobody really talks about in that rare game realm that's not very expensive. So you see those out there, check it out. Here are 2 games that are almost exactly the same price. They're about 90 bucks to 100 bucks. Now, one of these games you have probably heard of. It's like on every hidden gems list ever made. Felix the Cat. Not super duper rare. You can still find this game out there. I got this at Maxine's Bargain Box, I want to say for $70 with trade credit. So I traded for this, which was awesome. But a game that's in that price range that you hardly ever see is Widget. It's about a $90 game. I got this from Tyler, traded me for it, I think. But again, rare and expensive don't always equal out, because those are some games right there where a game is sort of more popular, there's more copies of it out there, and it's the same price as a game that's actually sort of rare. So I just wanted to throw those your way. Let's get into my top 10. So coming in at number 10, I got this game, I think for $100. I paid up for it because I really wanted to play it. Heard a lot of great things about it. I particularly didn't like this game. I did beat it, but coming in at $130 to $160-ish is Metal Storm. Coming in at number 9, I got this game at Buckeye Games and Flea Market. I want to say I only paid $60 for it. This was also on Back in the Day Gamers list. Coming in at about $130 to $160 is Cool World. Terrible game, and I will probably never play it. And I almost regret purchasing it because I could have used that money for something else that I would have played and would have enjoyed. My cart has a little staining, so we can track some value there, but yeah, again, a rare game that you hardly ever see that is worth about $150. All right, so on Back in the Day Gamers list, he did all carts. I did some sealed stuff, some box stuff, some mix match stuff. And this game coming in at number 8 is about $220. It's one of those Nintendo games that you've seen a million times in your life, but it is hard to get a complete in box copy or a sealed copy. This is Chris Everett and Ivan Lendl, Top Players Tennis, and this is still factory sealed. It is in very mint sealed condition. No breaks, pitting on the seals, crush marks, anything like that. This is one of the games that I'm going to probably get graded, but yeah, who would have thunk? Sealed Nintendo games, $220. It's probably a really crappy game too. Number 7, also coming in at about that $220 range. Kind of an uncommon cart to find, so to have it complete in box makes it kind of valuable. Kiwi Craze. Now I got this, I had a guy contact me, he said he had a bunch of Nintendo stuff he wanted to sell, or he had this on a Facebook thing, and he wanted like $60 for the lot or something. But it was like this game and a bunch of Sega Genesis sports games. I asked him if I could just buy this game, and I think I bought this for $40. Very nice, complete in the box copy of Kiwi Craze. Does have some denting on the corner you can see there, so that probably detracts a little bit from the value, but I've heard this is a really good game. Have not played it. Coming in at number 6, now I remember this was $220 at Maxine's Bargain Box, and I got it in trade. Was it 200? Maybe it was, I don't remember. It might have been, it was like 180, 200. It might have been in there somewhere. And it is worth about $220, $230, and that is Jetson's Cogswell Caper on the NES. But I got this with trade credit, so I traded in a bunch of commons and doubles, racked up a bunch of trade credit, and snatched this one for sure. Now I did play through this game. It's a pretty good game. I would highly recommend it, but it's one of those late Taito releases up there with Panic Restaurant, and there's one more, the Flintstones one. Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. So yeah, about $220, $230-ish for Jetson's Cogswell Capers. Coming in at number 5. Now this one surprised me a little bit when I was looking through my collection. I didn't realize this game was worth that much. It is missing the manual, but you know, $250 is Shadow of the Ninja on the NES. Like I said, it is missing the manual. For some reason, the game's like 150, the box is like 100, and the manual's like 100. So if you were trying to piece this thing together, it would be crazy. It does have a sticker on the back, so it probably takes away a little bit of the value. A game that I haven't played yet. I bought this. Again, I got this for $80 at Maxine's Bargain Box when the cart was $80, because Dave doesn't really charge more if it's just like cart and box or cart and manual. Like if it's complete, he'll charge the premium price on it. But to help get stuff moving through the store, he'll sell it kind of cheap. So, or he'll sell it not cheap, but I think like I said, the cart was $80 and it was $80 for the whole thing. So He might have calculated 60 for the cart and 20 for the box. But anyway, Shadow of the Ninja, missing the manual, about 250 bucks. So coming in at number 4 is Contra Force with the manual. Now, this was $100 at Maxine's Bargain Box, and I got that on 5/10, well, it was in there 5/10 of 20. So I got it shortly after that. Again, use trade credit to get that. And Contra Force with the manual is about $250. I go on eBay all the time trying to find the box for Contra Force, because that will give me Contra, Super C, and Contra Force complete in the box. But yeah, really cool game. I definitely want to play it so I can close out that series and say that I beat all the games in that series on Nintendo. But Contra Force with the manual, pretty valuable. Coming in at number 3, this is worth about $300, and it's missing the poster. I think I got this at, Tyler's gonna know because he was there when I bought it. I think I got this for like 50 bucks or 60 bucks, and it was at that mall in Lancaster. Tyler, you know what I'm talking about, that video game store that was down there. I always forget what it was called, but it is Race America. And it is, you know, it's got the cart and the manual and all that stuff. It's just missing the poster. $300. With that poster, it raises the value of this game to about $400. So yeah, unbelievable. Race America on the NES. So I remember this one very, very vividly. It goes for between $430 and $600. That's how crazy some of these prices are. So let's just say 400 bucks or whatever. I was at this garage sale, this was years ago. I mean, like years and years ago. And this lady had a Sega Genesis power adapter, so I asked her if she had any more video game stuff. She brought out a blue Reebok box full of NES boxes. So I was like, this is really cool. So I grabbed it, I was like, there's no games in here. And she goes, oh, okay, well, we have this Nintendo too. And I was like, well, how much do you want for everything? And she was like, well, if there's no games in there, I think the kids took the games or sold them or whatever, so it's just boxes and manuals. And I said, cool, because I'll piece them together, you know. And I think I paid maybe 40 bucks for the Nintendo with a copy of Contra in it, the Sega Genesis power adapter, and a bunch of boxes and manuals. And one of the boxes and manuals in there was Battletoads Double Dragon. Now this does have the Battletoads Battle Maniacs poster. So I went out and spent $80 on the cartridge when it was about 80 bucks to make this thing complete. And it is a really nice copy of Battletoads Double Dragon with the inserts and, like I said, the poster. It's always those posters and those like Nintendo Power inserts, man, that add that extra value. But yeah, number 2 on my list is Battletoads Double Dragon, coming in at like 430 to 600 bucks, depending on the day, the buyer, and who's got it on eBay and whatever. All right, before we get to number 1, before we get to the big dog, oh! Man, I should have got more of these. I only got 1. Coming in at number 1, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know it is in there. I'm looking to get this game graded, and it is a sealed copy of DuckTales 2 in very nice condition. I would say there's just a little bit of pitting on the UPC code, and everything else is really, really nice. So how I came across this game, there was a subscriber, and he went into a Goodwill and he found 4 of these, 4 sealed copies of DuckTales 2 for that price right there, $1.99. So he bought the 4 of them. He sold one at that time. It was only like $900 for this game. Kept one for himself, and then he offered a copy to me, and I traded him a bunch of stuff. And he offered another copy to Power Player Paul for a bunch of stuff. And Power Player Paul, and he made a video about it. You can go check it out on his channel. He sold his copy of DuckTales 2 sealed, this exact same Warhawk McGillicuddy Jones here. He sold his for $10,000. No kidding, you can go check it out. He said he paid off some like student loans, and then he bought himself Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Sega Saturn. So I'm gonna say the last sale that I know of, just to be obnoxious in this video, the last known sale that I know about of a sealed DuckTales 2 was $10,000. $1,000. Okay. All right, guys, that is gonna do it. Those are my top 10 most valuable NES games that I have in my collection. I'm very honored and very blessed to have had an opportunity to get these games through trade or trade credit, or knowing some of you on YouTube. It's been a fun ride for the last 10 or 11 years. And yeah, like I said, I don't really care so much about the price, but the stories, the memories, and some of these are really, really good games. So to have those gameplay memories is what it's all about, really. It's not really about the price of something. But anyway, if you want to make a response video, please do so. If you have some of these games, tell me about them. Tell me about some of your rare Nintendo games. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay updated on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we will see you on the next one. And check out Back in the Day Gamer. Link below.